could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race, life is a chase. I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds, they can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? Welcome, Finn fans. Welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and welcome to another episode of the Finn Posse Podcast, brought to you by Game Changers Media. How's everybody doing this morning? You can hear me now, Costa Nostra? You can hear me now, Costa Nostra? We all good? How's everybody doing this morning? What's going on, Michael? What's up? Give people a few minutes to get in the building. Sorry, I'm running a little bit behind today. I'm feeling under the weather. Man, I swear, someone in my house gets sick and it just spreads like wildfire. It's always my son that's the first one that gets sick. And he's a typical teenage boy. He can't keep nothing to himself. Just constantly spreading germs constantly. Almost the weekend. It is almost the weekend. Almost free agency. Almost Monday. Can't wait for the weekend to be over. so we can get into free agency. Super excited about that. More moves continuing to come out of the NFL. And this is a beautiful time of the year because more and more things keep happening. I mean, you got a bunch of guys hitting the open market. Yesterday, Joey Bosa was released. Long times Chargers defensive end. He's a great player, but he's got a crazy injury history. He can't stay on the field. DK Metcalf requesting a trade. What else? Someone else was released, I feel like. Was there someone else released yesterday? Lots of questions yet to be answered. Where will Aaron Rodgers be playing next year? Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, a lot of quarterbacks, Justin Fields. Where will Sam Darnold? Where will all these quarterbacks be playing next year? How will that affect the NFL? Yeah, lots of questions yet to be answered. So Chris Greer and the Miami Dolphins yesterday reworked the deal of Bradley Chubb, keeping Chubb in Miami next year. The contract details are yet to be known as far as what I could find. But I would suspect that it creates at least another $13 to $15 million in cap space for us, at least. And we were already sitting at like 14. True Blazer, Yanks and Fins. Listen, I've explained this a couple times on this channel that growing up, I was big into a lot of sports. Baseball, I was drawn to the Seattle Mariners. You know, Ken Griffey Jr., prettiest swing in baseball history. Alex Rodriguez, Randy Johnson, Jay Buhner, Egner Martinez. I just loved the Seattle Mariners. That was my squad. Like, I rocked with Seattle. That was my baseball team. And then everybody got traded. You know what I mean? And baseball, the rosters just get flipped so often. And I'm from New York. I'm not a Yankees fan. I respect the Yankees. I mean, they got the most championships in any sport history. But I'm from New York. You gotta have a Yankees cap. You know what I mean? Unless you're a Mets fan. But if you're from New York, you gotta rock the Yankees cap. But as far as baseball and basketball, I grew up a big Bulls fan. Of course, Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, he was just so mesmerizing to me. But after the Bulls fell apart, I like certain players on certain teams, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I'm not a bandwagon person. I like certain players, but I'm not gonna I like Steph Curry right now. Steph Curry is probably my favorite player in the NBA. But I'm not saying I'm a Warriors fan. I'm not a bandwagon person. I'm not going to say I'm a Warriors fan. We're going to win the title this year. No, I just like how Steph Curry plays. Before that, I was a big Kobe fan because Kobe was the closest thing to Mike. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say I was a Lakers fan. Did I want Kobe to win? Yeah. But I wasn't like I wouldn't talk about the Lakers like I would talk about the Dolphins. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say we need to go out and make these moves to get a championship to LA for us. You know what I mean? I would just be basically sold out to international shit. You're saying I sold out? Listen, I didn't sell out. Again, I'm not going to claim titles. I'm not going to talk. They're not my teams. I just like certain players. You know what I mean? The Dolphins are my team. That's my squad. I rock with my squad. And Miami's always been my team and always will be. Let's go O's. Baseball. Love baseball too. Braves here. They favored too many migrants away from Americans, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, listen, those guys in different countries be picking up baseballs and bats when they're babies. You know what I mean? When they're babies. What's up, MC? What's up, Timothy? It's personal. Nah, it's cool, Michael. But you know what I mean? The kids in America they sit in the house on their tablets and on their video games. They don't pick up, you know what I mean? We'll probably see more and more of athletes coming from other countries. This generation's lazy, bro. This generation's lazy. I begged my son to play sports. I was always into sports, and it was a real hassle. It was a real hassle. He didn't want to do it at all. But I will say that he's in middle school right now. He just turned 14. He's taken it upon himself to join the football team. I stopped pressing him, really. I stopped pressing him about sports. And when I stopped doing that, he took the initiative himself. He joined the football team. He joined the wrestling team just to stay in shape and to help himself with, being able to handle himself in combat. He plays the offense and defensive line in football, so he joined the wrestling team to help himself, be able to, handle himself, I guess. I don't know. Damien says, how much cap space do we have now? Before the Chubb move, we had 13, 14 million in space. After the Chubb move, I would say, the numbers ain't out yet. I would say anywhere from 26 to 30 million in cap. That's what I would say. It's yet to be known what the exact number is. But I'm guess he was a 19. His base salary was 19 million. He was a $28 million cap hit. It had to be considerable for them to bring him back. It has to be a considerable number they have to bring him back, because if we cut him, we could have saved 19 million. So it's got to be a considerable number. It's over $10 million. So at the very least, we got $24 million in cap space. At the very least. I'm starting to lay Jay Pegas from Ole Miss. He plays defensive tackle, fullback, and tight end. What round is he at? Where they got him projected at? Is he like a late round pick, early? What other moves are we going to make? Yesterday, I was watching Omar, and he says that Omar was talking. He said that we can give Brooks just a signing bonus for this year's salary without doing anything to the contract. We can just turn his whole base salary into a signing bonus this year. That's another $6 million. Now, I think we should re-sign Brooks, give him a new contract. But even if we don't, we can turn his whole contract into a signing bonus. That's another $6 million. That takes us to at least 30. At the very least, that's $30 million. What would you think of Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams going to the Colts? Listen, Aaron played better towards the end of last year. Aaron takes a lot of heat because Aaron Rodgers wasn't the elite quarterback that he had been in prior years. He wasn't the MVP Aaron Rodgers, but that's to be expected. That's to be expected. He's 40 years old, coming off a torn Achilles. Of course he wasn't going to be the same. I think Aaron Rodgers with Davante Adams joining the Colts, I think that makes them the favorite in that division based on how the Texans played last year. The Texans weren't a very good team. They won that division out by default last year. They won that division by default. It's hard to watch now. To me, they became too political, killed the game. I will forever be pissed at how they did this American who was ultra talented, loved the game. Yeah, I mean, everything is political these days, bro. Everything. Morning, Michael. How are you today? Listen, I want to say thank you all for the support and the love. Yesterday was the first show that I had done. By the time I was done with the show, I had over 20 likes. That might not seem like a big number to y'all. And listen, I'm just starting to grow, but that was the first time I had ever initially gotten off. And every day I get off the show and I automatically go and check, and I know how many people I talk to on here on a daily basis, and I go and check and see how many hit that like button for me, help me grow. And yesterday was the first time that I had gotten to 20 likes before the show was over. And I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, you guys. It means a lot. It means a lot. Shoot, maybe we'll get the 30. Maybe we'll get the 30 likes today before the show's over. Maybe we'll get the 30 likes. You talk stuff from Cleveland. Do I like Chubb from Cleveland as a short down and distance back? Yeah, I mean, we should know how good Chubb's going to be this year. And I'm talking about Chubb from Cleveland, not the Chubb that's on our team. That's a year removed from the injury. I love Chubb when he was in Cleveland before the injury. He's a hard worker. I think he can come back from it. It was a devastating injury, though. That was a devastating injury. We need a big body receiver, but I wouldn't take one in the first 2 rounds. Listen, I wouldn't touch receiver for the first 5 rounds. What up, Big C? I get off the show, Big C, boss fan. What up, Grandizer? How you doing this morning? Good morning, Scotty. So for months I've been saying Chubb pay cut or be cut. And wow, I didn't expect the first. Yeah, I mean, it was an obvious move. It was a move that needed to happen. Absolutely. Michael Desire, fan of the show here, subscribe. I appreciate that, Michael. Let's bring in Cubs' little cousin. Yeah, I mean, if the price is right, why not? We need a back that can go get us them 2-3 yards when we need them the most. I don't think Nick Chubb would cost a lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would neither, just because he's coming off that devastating injury. And he didn't look the same last year, and that's expected. That's expected. I'll be interested to see how he looks this year. This year's going to be a real telling for him, but that injury was horrible. That was a horrible injury he suffered. I'm curious of the 19 million, how much he agreed to incentive. 10 million, 15 million, all 17. I mean, I guess it depends on where he feels he's at in his, if he feels like he's back completely. He was having a good season when he got hurt. Chubb was having his probably best season as a Dolphin when he went down. Playing opposite Chubb, or not Chubb, but Chop, playing opposite Jalen Phillips. Whether he thinks Weaver's a good defensive coordinator and can put him in positions to succeed. Listen, he knew that if he got released, he wasn't gonna get that big number anywhere else anyway. He wasn't gonna get the big number anywhere else. Nobody was gonna give Chubb a huge contract coming off that injury, missing a whole season. Nobody. So what choice did he really have? What choice did he really have? Next week will give us a sense of direction. Absolutely, Timothy. That's why I'm so excited for Monday. I'm so excited for Monday because it finally lets us know what the game plan is. We finally get to see what the game plan is. We finally get to see which direction we're going in. Because we can do mock drafts, we can do mock free agencies, but in reality, it all matters what Chris Greer goes and does first. These mock drafts are pointless until you know what we're doing in free agency. Because if we go and take 3 guards, we're probably not taking a guard in the first round. That's just how it is. It's like Christmas. Yeah, it is like Christmas. It's our fancy new gifts. What gifts we get? What gifts are under the tree this year for the Miami Dolphins? I appreciate that, Costa Nostra. Smash that like button. Let's grow. I agree. And listen, I will not forget the first peoples that was here on a daily basis with me. Believe that. Believe that. If this show grows out of control, I'll always remember the first 20 people that rocked out with me on a daily basis and showed me love. 100%. 100%. So when special situations or when I give away something special, you guys will be at the top of the list. When certain things happen or certain perks become available, you guys will always be at the top of the list. As far as coming on the show, you guys will always be VIP in my book. I promise that. Thank you so much for your support. Bonnie says the best part about the move with Chubb is he is going to play his butt off to get the incentives and get a payday next year. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Bonnie. You're absolutely right about that. You got to love when a player's playing to reach incentives, that they're not just guaranteed a bunch of money where they can just sit back, relax, chill out, and collect a paycheck. Nah, that boy's got to work to get his money. He got to work to get his money. Timothy Washington says Banks, then Jenkins. That would be an absolute, that'd be a haul for us. If we got Banks and Jenkins at the guard positions, that'd be absolutely fantastic for these Miami Dolphins. Although Chubb's restructure will impact the cap next year, if it does, that means Chubb's had a great year, which is to me means we're winning games. Absolutely, Scotty. Absolutely. Listen, the way that we're doing our salary cap, we're not in a position to, the way this team is currently built, the way our salary cap is right now, this isn't a team that is going to build a dynasty. I hope everybody knows that. I hope everybody knows that this team is not a team that is built to build a dynasty. This team is not going to be a Philadelphia Eagles team where they have an opportunity to go win 3-4 Super Bowls just because they have so much talent built up. Their salary cap is right. This isn't going to be a Kansas City Chiefs situation where you have an opportunity to go to multiple Super Bowls. This is a 1-year window to put all your eggs in a basket and go out and try to win a championship. Because we've made a lot of choices that are going to handicap our salary cap in the future, which is going to limit the amount of talent we can bring in. And unless we get a general manager that hits on every draft, or Chris Greer just becomes this magician, it's going to be a real rough road. So, yeah, we can have great success this year. We can put a team together that can go out and challenge for a Super Bowl. But as far as future years, it's just not set up that way. True Blazer. Chris Greer dropped the ball on building a lengthy, successful team with his drafting in 2020 and 2021. Yeah, I mean, and then the restructures that push money down the road, the void years. We're paying Xavier Howard this year, and this will be the second year that Xavier Howard's not on this team. Tim, I've pivoted totally away from Daniels because of the Achilles injury. Not unless we get legit positive updates on how about Omar acts like he's confident with it. I mean, obviously I don't got no intel coming from Pittsburgh, but Omar acts like he's not worried about it. But Omar was talking about giving him $9 million. I don't see that. I don't see giving this guy $9 million coming off an Achilles injury. But I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the market is for guards. We're gonna have to wait and see what the contracts are looking like for guards. But yeah, this team isn't built for elongated success. So to push contracts down the road, listen, either we're going to win a Super Bowl this year or we're in for a lengthy rebuild. Where it doesn't matter if the salary cap's messed up for the next 2-3 years. What matters is if this team's not successful this year, it doesn't matter if we have a bad salary cap the next 2-3 years, because we're going to have a new coach, a new GM. All that's going to matter is if we can draft correctly. Omar's not a doctor. You're absolutely right. Omar's not a doctor, but Omar has connections where he can talk to people inside organizations. You know what I mean? Omar, listen, I hope to do a show with Omar at some point. So Omar isn't everybody's cup of tea, but you can't deny the fact that Omar is more connected than any normal Dolphin person. What's next after Chubbs? Well, there's a multiple ways that they can go. Again, I said you can look gives Zach Sealer a new contract. You can turn Brooks's contract into a signing bonus. That's $6 million. You can give Brooks a new contract. You give Jonnu a new contract. There's a multitude of ways you could go. You can rework Tua's contract. That's an easy $19.5 million. And I know people aren't fans of that, but again, if this team fails this year, we're going to be in a massive rebuild. Omar is an idiot who brags about connections that keep him in the dark. Omar is wrong more than a weatherman. I feel you. Like I'm not going to say that I don't agree. Listen, I was never a huge. I'm going to keep my opinion to myself because, again, I don't want to wreck possible relationships. You know what I mean? But Scotty, I don't disagree with your take on what you're saying. Same here. If he wasn't injured, he'd be a top acquisition in my opinion, especially since he's still young. Costa Nostra, I don't like Omar Kelly at all, but yes, you're right about Omar being very connected and close to the team. Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me, I mean, he travels to away games. Like he covers the team. He's in depth with Barry Jackson, and all them beat writers talk to each other. You can't tell me he hasn't made relationships with beat writers from Pittsburgh that the Pittsburgh beat writers have connections to the team. It's normal. I mean, it's normal. Now, his personal opinion you might not agree with, but I mean, if on insight, if a player is going to be healthy for the upcoming season or is projected to be healthy, I mean, I got to go with Omar's opinion on it more so than anybody else's. Yeah, Scotty, I'm not in disagreement, and I was never a huge fan of his take. I felt like he wasn't a Dolphin fan with a lot of his takes. You know what I mean? I always felt like he was a fan of a rival of ours. So I mean, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm just saying he's got more of a connection than we do. You know what I mean? Now, if Omar says this is the best player for this team, you know what I mean? I'm gonna believe my eyes more than I'm gonna believe Omar. But when it comes to stuff like if he's hearing the guy's healthy, I gotta believe Omar more than just the random Joe. You know what I mean? True Blazer says Omar is a self-admitted Dolphin fan. I always felt like, especially years in the past, I felt Omar wasn't a Dolphin fan. I believe now. I more so believe now that he is a Dolphin fan. But in the past, some of his takes and the way he talked about this team, I felt that he was a fan of a division rival. Honestly, I did. Scotty says I've met and had to deal with him a couple times. I truly, truly dislike that man. He is a pump. I mean, I could see him coming off as arrogant and cocky. Again, I don't want to. Let's change the subject because I don't want to. I don't want to cut possible connections. You know what I mean? True Blazer says, but he has a job to do. I respect that take. Fandom out. No, you're good, Scotty. I don't want to. It leads me to speaking how I feel, and I agree with your takes. You know what I mean, and that could affect possible connections I could have in the future. Because I want to someday work with Barry Jackson, and Barry Jackson works firsthand with Omar. You know what I mean? I'd love to work with Barry. I know that Alan Poupart, he has Omar on the show. All these guys are very close, and I don't want to create, you know what I mean? Craig Tish says, Big C, you should do a show with Reason. Listen, I've tried to reach out to Reason. I can't get a hold of him. I've tried to get a hold of Reason. I can't get a hold of him. Let's not make Big C uncomfortable. Nah, Bonnie, I respect everybody's take, and you guys can talk about anything you want to. I just want to be careful what I say. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like Barry Jackson a lot. You know what I mean? But they're all close. They're all very cool with each other, and they're not going to disrespect each other. And you gotta be more. You gotta be politically correct on these shows sometimes. You know what I mean? If you ever want to make something. You like Jameis Winston as a backup, Michael? No, I do not. I do not. I do not like Jameis Winston as a backup. Jameis Winston makes too many mistakes. And I think there's something wrong with that guy. Have you listened to some of his post-game interviews? And I think he's got a screw or two loose. Listen, the guy can fling the rock, that's for sure. I mean, he can go out there and throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he's probably got 5 interceptions to go along with it. I mean, he's not my cup of tea. He's just not my cup of tea. I don't think the team needs that. I don't think this team needs that. We got a lot of talented playmakers that if you can get the ball in their hands and we redo this offensive line and there's good adequate blocking, those playmakers will take care of things themselves. Backups for Dolphins: 1, Gardner Minshew; 2, Sam Howell; 3, Tyler Heineke. I mean, that's not a horrible list. I think each one of those could come in and win a game or two for you. If Tua misses more than 4 or 5 games, this season's a wrap. Timothy says, yeah, I like Minshew. He stole stone crabs from Publix. Yeah, he did do that in college. He did. Well, how college football has changed. How college football has changed. You got Jameis Winston stealing crab legs. Now people in college are millionaires. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy, right? These kids in college nowadays are making more money before they get to the league than players in the past made their whole careers. Shador Sanders driving a Phantom Rolls Royce around college campus. And it's not because Dion gave it to him. It's because he's making that money himself. You know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy now. And I think it's bad for football. I think it's bad for the game. I really do. I think it's bad for the game. I think it's bad for the young and up and coming players. Now, do these college players, they want to act. College football is a very lucrative sport. It is. College football is a very back to driving a Lamborghini. Yeah. I agree, Bonnie. It's ruining the game. Not only is it ruining college football, I feel like it ruins the NFL. Listen, these players aren't. You're supposed to getting drafted into the NFL is supposed to be this ceremonial thing. It's supposed to be an exciting time. It's supposed to turn you into a millionaire, be life changing for you. But these players are already coming in so entitled, so they're already rich. Like they can come in and be like, "No, I'm not playing for you. I'm not playing for you. I'm not playing for you. I'm already rich. I don't care." Look at what Caleb Williams wanted from the Chicago Bears. He was talking about, I want part ownership of the team and what? What's going on, Irving? Good morning to you. What up, Shake Money? Now, Joe Milton has he's got everything you want in a quarterback. He's got everything you'd want in a quarterback. He looks the part. If you can bring someone in, if someone can develop him, he's got the potential to be a Josh Allen type. Joe Milton looks the part. Now, I wouldn't bring him in to be our backup quarterback, but I'd be very interested in bringing him in to develop him into a future starter. I'd bring him in to bring as a future starter. So let's say we're sitting around 24 to anywhere between 24 and $30 million in cap space right now. You can add another 6 million by turning Brooks's contract into a signing bonus. So Chubb, Armstead. By giving Zach Sealer a new contract, I want to say you can save another 6 million. Jackson Dart is an intriguing quarterback in this draft. He may well be a Jalen Hurts with a stronger arm, but he looks like Zach Wilson's. I don't. That's a good question, Scotty. I mean, they don't need to trade him, but they don't need him on the team per se. I mean, he's a valuable asset that they could get a lot of draft capital for. I mean, would they pick him with a 5th, 6th pick? Which somebody else should have grabbed him. I don't know why they didn't. And I don't think they probably would trade him to us. Michael said, I wanted Miami to draft Milton last year. Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't. Sure, Scotty, go ahead. Pop us off. Scotty about to be our mathematician up in here. So yeah, with the Chubb and Armstead move, I say we got anywhere between 24 and 30 million. I know Brooks, if we can give him a signing bonus, that's $6 million. Ingold is 1.6. Brewer, 4 million. Austin Jackson, 7.3. Ramsey, 3.2. And Sanders, 1.8. Yeah, 5.5. All right, so that takes us up to right around $57 million. Cut Bailey for 1.5. Yeah. Caught Easy E. Caught either Connor or Hill at tight end. Caught the linebacker Tyndall. That's like another, let's say, $3.5 million total. Just rough average. Listen, that takes you over $60 million, close to $62 million. That takes you close to $62 million. Let's talk about last year. I'm trying to think now. We got Jordan Poyer. We got Calais. I'm trying to think. Brewer. Fuller. Janu. Regardless, we got 5 or 6 starters last year for right around $16 million. For right around $16 million. I think that list included Jordan Poyer, Calais Campbell, Brewer, Fuller, Jonnu Smith. All of them added together was around $16 million cap hit last year. So that's just right there. That keeps in mind how much you can get for around 16 million. You can get 4 or 5 starters for 16 million. Now, are they high end starters? No, not necessarily. I mean, obviously, Calais Campbell had a great year. Fuller had a decent year. Jonnu Smith had a good year. I like that, Scotty, though. That's something that a lot of people don't know, and I struggle with it. I struggle with it because there's so many different things you can do with it. There's so many different things you can do with it. The void years, this, that, the third, the fact you can turn numbers into signing bonuses, and you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many different ways to cheat it. There's so many different ways to cheat the salary cap. It's absolutely mind-boggling. So say let's we signed that many starters for this team last year was 16 million. So if we had the same amount of cap space this year, that would leave us with 45 million left. That would leave us with 45 million left. That can get you 2 star players to go along with the players that I named. Now you could go out and get a Justin Simmons. For probably 5 million. You can bring Calais back for another 5 million. You could. Anybody know what Greenlaw's asking for? What they're talking about Greenlaw's market? Because I'd really like to bring Greenlaw in. I really would. Tell Shape Money that a pair of Gator dress shoes with a Gator skin belt looks good on Carson Beck on his Armani suit and shades. We're going to whoop that ass this year. Good morning, beautiful people. What up, Cap for Life? How you doing this morning? Scotty says, I spend so much time trying to tell fans not to freak out. I understand the flexibility. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely room. I kept saying it. People were like, we have no cap space. We have no cap space. I was like, I ain't worried about that. We'll get cap space somehow. We'll get it. We'll get it somehow. What's Greenlaw asking for? Anybody know? Anybody know what Greenlaw's contract's going to look like? Bring Isaiah Wynn back for $3 million. And then let's not forget, folks, and it's not a popular decision, but like I said, it's not going to affect us as much as you think. This team's not built for long-term success. Hold on 1 second. They're calling me about fixing my PlayStation. Hello? Yep. Okay, what's going on? Okay. Sorry, I can just come pick it up. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I appreciate working on it. So I could just come and pick it up. All right, I'll be in at some point today. Thank you. Bye. Sorry about that, folks. I took my PlayStation 5 over to get it fixed. The other day, well, sometime like a week and a half ago, I was playing my PlayStation 5, I was playing Madden. My controller died. So I went to go get my other controller. I had let my son use it on his PlayStation 5, and I went to go to connect it, and it was connected to his. So I don't know what I did, but like I unplugged my PlayStation. I didn't turn it off. I had just unplugged it. And then I go to plug it back in and it won't turn on. Won't turn on. No matter what I do, the shit won't turn on now. So I took it over for them to fix. They can't fix it. I don't know what the hell happened. Like all that happened was my controller died. But anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, Greenlaw would be he'd be a thumper. He'd be a great player for this team. Real force in the middle with Brooks. I like it a lot. Scotty says my focus is on Banks. I'm hearing about 8 million average. Listen, 8 million would be a great. I'm cool with 8 million for top of the end guard. Top of the line guard, I'm cool with 8 million. And then let's not forget, folks, that besides that 62, if you really want to get dangerous with it, you can add another 19.5 on there. That takes us up to over 80 million in cap space, folks. 80 million. 80 million. If this team is really going for broke, if this team is really trying to go to the Super Bowl, if they're really trying to be competitors, listen, it's an unpopular. I'm not touching Tua yet. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, Scotty, it really depends who's available, because you could go get $80 million in cap space, and there just might not be the players you want to spend that money on. You know what I mean? There just might not be you're not going to spend that money just to spend it. If the right players aren't out there, then screw it. Why go add the extra 20 million? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Unless you're going to trade away future draft picks and you need the money to pay a superstar. You know what I mean? Let's say for shits and giggles, and what would this do to this offense? What would it do to this offense if you went out and you traded for DK Metcalf? If you traded next year's first round for DK Metcalf, if you were truly going for broke, and I'm not saying this is the smart move for this Miami Dolphins squad as far as the future, as far as You know what I mean? But what would DK Metcalf added with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Jonnu Smith? What would that do to this offense? I think we can get enough cap without Tua that will allow us to absorb a good portion of his contract. Now, if we have to move on from him next year, that's my hope. Yeah, I mean, but even then, it's only an extra $5 million per year added on. Listen, Irving, I'm saying it in a world, let's say in a world we keep Tyreek Hill. In a world we could keep Tyreek Hill and have all three of those receivers on this team at the same time. Let's say we just shipped a first and a second to Seattle for DK Metcalf. How crazy would this offense be? Now you add Aaron Banks, you add Mekhi Becton or Membu from the draft to shore up this offensive line. It's a kick the can down the road season for the Dolphins, y'all. Yeah, Cat. Because if they fail, if Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel fail this year, they don't got to worry about it. They ain't got to worry about the ramifications. They ain't got to worry about how their actions affect this team in the future. They don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. It's not going to be their problem. No, Irving, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if you kept Metcalf, Tyreek, and Waddle on the squad? How crazy would this offense be? Let's just say they wanted to get absolutely, let's say the Miami Dolphins just wanted to fucking go absolutely crazy with it and trade a first and a second next year, bring DK in to join Tyreek and Waddle on this offense. How crazy would this offense be? I would trade Waddle for DK too. We got Washington. Listen, Washington and DK are in the same class, bro. Washington was a. Listen, I don't want to say nothing bad about the kid, but that was a wasted pick, in my opinion. It was a waste. He's a waste. He's a smaller receiver he's not super fast like Tyreek. So he can't be a Tyreek replacement. Shake money. Did Irving block me? Irving, did you block Shake? Malik was a wasted pick. Ouch. He's a wasted pick for this team. When you have two smaller receivers and you add an extra small receiver that's not super fast, or you know what I mean? What's Malik Washington's superpower? At the receiver spot. If you're going to be an undersized receiver, in my opinion, you got to be a blazer. That's just my opinion. Like, the only reason I would take Malik Washington in the draft with Tyreek Hill on a team with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is because I won't looking to replace Tyreek Hill in the coming seasons. But Washington can't. Washington is a decent special teams returner. Wasn't he a third or fourth round? What round did we take him? Oh, he's in the Game Changers stream. Well, Irving, come on over to the Finn Posse podcast, baby. he was a 6th round pick. Damn, looking for Superman the 6th. You got high standards. But if he was a 6th round pick, he's all right. He's all right. My bad, Scotty. He's all right. Listen, if he was a 6th round pick, then he's a good player for a 6th round pick. I'm just saying, why didn't we pick a player that was? Are you sure Malik Washington was a 6th round pick? Or are you talking about Taj? I thought Malik Washington was a higher pick than a 6th round. I thought the other Washington went in the 6th, 7th. What round did the Miami Dolphins draft Malik Washington? You're right. 184 overall. I mean, he's a good player for the 6th round. You're right, Scotty. He is. My fault. I was going for a second. It's just he's not. That's not what we need in a third receiver. We need someone different. You know what I mean? We need someone with size. Good morning, Joe Rist. How you doing this morning? Joe Rist is in Belize. He's over in Belize. But yeah, I mean, depending on who's available, who becomes available, lots of teams are gonna release players after the draft. You know what I mean? We're gonna have no idea who's gonna be available. Bonnie says she was just in Belize. Yep, she was. Irving's up in the Finn Posse podcast now. Yeah. Now shaking him can get busy. All right, folks, let's hit another mock draft just for the shits and giggles real quick. Because you know we love our mock drafts. And screw it, what better do you got to do than a mock draft? Do a million Brazilian mock drafts. Because they're fun. They're fun to take a look at all the possibilities. All the possibilities. Now, I really wish that they would update the rankings after the combine. You know what I mean? Because a lot of draft stock was obviously a lot of things changed after the combine. Personality talk, personality walk. That's a draft. Travis Hunter, number 1. Abdul Carter, number 2. Cam Ward, 3. Kelvin Banks, 4. Mason Graham, 5. Shador Sanders, 6. Millen, here's Stewart, Campbell, Will Johnson, Gentry. We're on the board, folks. Yeah, these rankings, man. This guy Golden, the highest rated player on the board. Membu right down there. What's the pick, folks? What's the pick? Listen, the way Membu played this or went through the way that Membu, they ain't got no trade off or shit. The way that Membu performed at the combine, I gotta take Membu. I gotta take Membu. He can play tackle for us. He can play guard for us. He is an absolute beast. He's gonna be here. Listen, he can be locked down that position for the next 10 years. So many damn pop-ups, man. That's the first time I didn't get a trade offer in the first round. There goes Emma Warrior, which sucks. But I'm not trying to trade up. Oh, now they want trade offers. Pick 2, round 3. No way. Round 2, pick 26, number 58. Man, that gives us an extra third rounder. We can pick up an extra third rounder. Listen, we could trade back and pick up an extra third rounder with the Cowboys, but right now Malachi Starks is available. Do you take Malachi Starks or you trade back and pick up an extra third and an extra fifth? What would you do in that position? Do you go and you get Malachi Starks? Now this is a deep draft, so the pick up an extra third would be huge. Timothy says take the trade. So you're willing to give up Malachi Starks there? Malachi Starks is on the board. Who else is on the board? Malachi Starks is Xavier Watts, Amos Alexander, Darius Knight's on the board. Alfred Collins, Walker. Where did the trade go now? I might have lost the trade. All right, we're gonna take the trade. We're gonna take the trade. Oh, there goes Deion Walker, Malachi. Oh man. I don't know if I could co-sign taking that trade just because, man, we lost out on some pretty important players there. Offensive line, defensive back, linebacker, edge, defensive line. Oh man, I don't know. I'm going to take Demetrius Knight, linebacker. Yeah, I don't know if that trade back was. I don't know if that trade back was a good one. I mean, I like picking up the extra picks, but you had too much talent there. I think Knight's a nice linebacker, though. I really do. Back on the clock. Do you guys like any of these safeties? Or what about these defensive linemen? These are the defensive linemen. Defensive linemen. And then you got the defensive backs. Andrew Mukaba, Castro, Winston, Malachi Moore. Who you taking? I'm mad we missed Deion Walker. Yeah, I'm upset about that too. That's the highest I've seen him go in any of these mocks. That's the highest I've seen Deion Walker go in any of these mocks. Who you taking? You like someone in the safety position, or are we going defensive line? Shit. Tight end. Yeah, we still got them. We got a starting tight end right now, though. We can address that later. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the safety out of Penn State, Kevin Winston Jr. Kevin Winston Jr., safety, Penn State. Yeah, he's usually a third round pick when I do mock drafts. Me too. Is he a good guard? Reject. All right, let's see. Damn it. I should have had my wife get me a mouse yesterday. What position does he play, Timothy? What position does he play? What's Pegas play? Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him. What's the pick? I don't see Pegasus on here, so he must be gone. Oh, right here. We'll go and grab him then. Fuck it. It's a mock draft. It's a mock draft. It's a mock draft. So right now we got Membo, Knight, and Winston. Winston and JJ Pegas. McCord. Boom. Grade the draft. Membo, Knight, Winston, Pegas, Jared Wilson. We're gonna go get a Ronda Gatson Jr. Just because this is towards the end. Some fans out on Brewer. Dude is a solid center, and once we get capable guards, can dominate in that system. I mean, if you can play center, you can play multiple guard positions. Oh shit. I don't see Jackson House. Wide receiver Nash. Oh, we're going to reject all these. Picks we got left. Okay. I really like Rocket Sanders. Well, we took 2 tight ends at this point. I'm going to go get my boy Thor Griffith. Take a chance on a late round quarterback. Cook. Happy birthday, Coach McDaniel. What up, Aquavision? How you doing this morning? Oh. Well, we haven't selected a corner yet. This guy is the highest rated corner by far. All right. We're going to get out of this. So we got Membu. We got Demetrius Knight, linebacker. We got Kevin Winston, JJ Pengus. We got Jared Wilson, Aronde Gadsden Jr., Nick Nash, wide receiver, Raheem Sanders. Come on. Raheem Sanders, Jackson Hawes, Thor Griffith, Brady Cook, and Jalen Smith. What do y'all think, folks? What do y'all think? We might as well pop off one of these every day until free agency. What's the grade on this? Would you be happy with it? Would you be happy with this? Obviously, you'd like some other players to fall. The board didn't fall exactly the way we wanted it to. But I feel like we got some decent players. I think we did. Yeah, I think, Scotty, I think Membu is a home run, slam dunk pick. That would definitely make this draft worthwhile. I feel like trading back in the second round was kind of a mistake. There was definitely top of the line defensive tackle available, or top of the line. Malachi Starks was available when we traded back. So I probably would say that was a mistake. I would say that was probably a mistake. I would have probably liked to have stayed put and got either our defensive tackle or our safety. But other than that, I think it was a pretty decent draft. Like I said, we'll hit another one tomorrow just for shits and giggles. But yeah, hopefully we hear some more news coming today. Chris Greer's got to get on his shit. He's obviously got to create some more cap space, make some more moves. I'll hit you with a short as soon as some of those things happen. If something big happens, I'll come on live and hit you with something. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for y'all stopping through. I appreciate y'all. I wonder if GMs use simulators to prep. Nah, I doubt that, but they probably play around with it a little bit. But I doubt it. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. I love every single one of you. Thank you for hanging out with me again this morning. Listen, I have a blast on here with y'all, and y'all are great. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Until then, fins up. Peace.